Good morning, Twyla.
Good morning, Al. How are you? I'm never sure what's going to come out of here. Yeah, okay.
I always say the same thing.
We should probably just cut that. So when you get it right, we'll just keep that. Yeah, show the same thing.
I get it right every time.
Every time?
How hard is it? Well,
yes.
You're just like a typical woman. You make one mistake once and you're never
going to live it down. That's right.
Oh.
How are you today?
If I was any better, I'd be twins.
I'm hungry.
Okay.
Yeah, just thought I'd let you know. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You do a good job on this, and I'll feed you lunch.
Thank you. When we talk about all this food, then my tummy starts growling. It's like I could go the whole time, not worry about it, but then it's like, oh, this recipe, that recipe, beans and rice.
All right. So what did you do that was positive?
Okay. A lot of you I know already received my newsletter. If you do not receive the newsletter, you're missing out, aren't you, Al? Because it's just loaded with noise.
Yes, it is.
Al will post my newsletter at... Where will you post that, Al? No. Where will you post that, Al?
I'm not going to point it. Well, I guess I can.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's okay, Biden. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to be political. Staying Alive. WFPB.com. My newsletter. I'm even going to send some of my old newsletters over to Al so he can post them.
We'll figure out.
Because it's got a lot of good information.
Look around. That's a good website. There's a lot going on there.
Yeah. So I sent out a newsletter on April 28th. Most of you probably already received it. And I started talking about this and that. Well, you can read it. But what was so exciting, my positive, was the feedback that I got. One of my students, Margie, a lot of my students will remember Margie. She was a student, and so she wrote back. She was, okay, I don't mean to toot my own horn. I'm like, what? Yes, do it. She's going to be on the cover of Women's World magazine. Yes, coming out approximately May 22nd. She's lost over 100 pounds on a whole food plant-based diet.
Wow.
I said, how did you get that gig? I'm so excited. And your good friend... my semi-friend, because she doesn't really know me, Esther. Esther was featured in Women's World magazine, told them about Margie, and then Women's World magazine contacted Margie. So I'm so excited.
That's great.
Yeah, so that was my positive. Okay.
Well, my positive, they're never as good as yours.
That's true, yeah. No, I'm just saying, no, they're positive for you. That's
they're
okay.
They're positive for me. That's all that counts.
Notice I didn't talk about my grandson
That's
time.
right.
Yes.
And this is not a contest.
No, that's true.
Okay, so is it, as we know, I mentioned before, the weather is nice. I mentioned I went to the desert and I brought back all of these huge rocks. And so I'm just having a ball with these rocks, moving them around, I'm redoing my landscaping out front.
I noticed.
And so I'm moving them around. And so that's not only positive that I can do it at 84 years old and have a heart problem, but it's also healthy if we get out and move and get around. So that's my 2 for 1.
And I think sometimes, because I do miss my gym. I like my gym, going to my gym. But I think it's also nice to realize you can still do things to move about and exercise.
Yes.
You know, there's still plenty of things you can do. So
don't just sit in front of the TV and binge watch or the computer.
And become hypnotized and comatose is what I like to say. We want to keep the brain healthy.
Yes.
Another thing I wanted to mention that I did put in my newsletter, I found this great... where did I find it? I don't even, again, not give a mouse a cookie, a whole food plant-based cookie, is I get off in these tangents like, how did I find this video? This woman, Dr. Frank, discussed the importance of the Native American foods in our diet. The 3 sisters, beans, squash, and corn. Mentioning, and that's going to tie in with let food be thy medicine. I'm mentioning, let food be thy medicine. The corn that the Native Americans ate is not the same corn we're eating today.
Right.
All corn that we eat today is GMO'd.
Yes.
You can buy corn that is not GMO'd, which I love, from actual Native Americans in New Mexico.
And what do they call it?
Maize.
Heirloom.
Oh, heirloom. Yes, you're right. I'm sorry. Heirloom. Right. Thank you. Okay. Okay, heirloom corn. And it's not going to look like that beautiful yellow big stalk you see, but it's very healthy. And she talked about all the things they did with it. She talked again about the importance of beans. Chili Smith has those beans that are named after Native Americans. Squash, chilies, tomatoes, potatoes. So here's what mainly people ate on this Native American diet. Corn, beans, squash, chilies, tomatoes, potatoes, vanilla, and cacao. Two of my favorites. I love vanilla. Yeah, I thought that was really interesting.
They had cacao?
Mm-hmm. Because they would get it from the cocoa tree or the cacao tree, the chocolate tree, and they would harvest it that way. She actually says because the Native American population, because they've become so westernized in their diet, has developed a lot of type 2 diabetes.
Yeah.
She says that the Native Americans now have one of the highest rates of type 2 diabetes. So what the Native American people are now starting to do is revert back to their Native American diet, similar to McDougall talked about Hawaiians going back to their...
Yes.
Right, and they were actually reversing their type 2 diabetes. And the reason I like this so well is because she's not... don't get me wrong, I love all of our regular doctors, Greger, Esselstyn, Bernard, Davis, Joel Kahn, but she's not one of those.
Yes.
And here she is promoting a plant-based diet, probably not even realizing it. And so I just thought that was a really good highlight. Good. And it will be on the website. Yes. It's a Rhodes Scholar. They were promoting a Rhodes Scholar trip, and they have some of these online presentations. So we'll have that one good up. Okay, that's what I liked.
All right, do you want to jump into our subject, which is, let me introduce it.
Please do.
We're going to let food be thy medicine.
I've heard that before. Where have I heard that?
I think maybe Socrates
or Hippocrates.
Hippocrates, yes.
Did I used to date him?
You're way too young.
Am I? Oh, okay. I did go for older guys, though. You know, so no, I didn't really.
Right.
No,
moving right along.
Hippocrates and Socrates, they had this whole feud. Like, who are you? No, I'm okay.
Well,
that'd be cool. Time travel.
They also in the movie they credit. It's not really a movie.
No, it's not. I don't like to say that.
It's a video. It's on YouTube. You can just
watch it free.
Watch it free.
Of course, we'll have the link.
Yeah.
Yes.
It takes place at the university down in San Diego. And they have like 6 people on it. I don't have all of their names in front of me. But they each have a little discipline, and they each bring something different to it. But again, they all agree pretty much on everything. Now, this was different for me because I haven't been studying this anywhere near as long as you have. And I went from what's just eliminating food. Don't eat meat. Don't eat dairy. Don't eat oils. Don't eat salt. Don't eat sugar. And so it was the don't eats. And they take it from another aspect of, and I've heard a lot of people say this: eat the most nutritional food per calorie.
Yeah, exactly. Calorie density. Nutrient, not calories, excuse me. Nutrient dense. Yes,
yeah,
sorry.
Avoid calorie density.
Avoid calorie dense, yes.
And that's sort of what I did. But they open this up and they talk about GMO and pesticides and all. So it was all new to me. It was different. It was something that I normally wouldn't have run across. So I thank you for causing me to broaden my horizon.
Yay! Well, one thing about that too, I think I found it because, as Al said, UC San Diego, it's right down the street from us. And but also, I love the name of this. It was sponsored by the Very Good Foundation, BERRY. And
Very Good, yes.
Yeah,
I have that written down.
Anything that goes like that, you know, I'm like all about that. So I thought that was really fun, and I thought the moderator from Very Good Foundation, she did a great job, I thought, of interviewing everyone and getting their input and putting it all together. I thought she was really good at that.
She was good, but I ever since we watched the thing on Rich Roll, where
don't get me started. I love Rich Roll.
I do too. But
but
I thought he talked a little bit too much, and I thought she talked a little bit too much.
I like the introduction part the best.
I did too.
That was my because she let people go ahead and introduce. Yes, I liked it.
At the end, but what she said was valuable and all, and that must, since I've never, well, I have moderated a few panels, but when I moderated them, I took my turn as a speaker. Mm-hmm. Then I said my piece, and then I let everybody else, and I didn't interrupt, and so. I don't know how to anyway,
that's a really good point too, because when I listen to some podcasters and they're doing interviews, I'm like, let the other person talk, we got it, or just ask the question and then let that answer, not go. And I think that was one thing they did pretty good at the Food Revolution Summit. John Robbins would sometimes go on a little bit too long, but some of them really brought it back. So the one I really liked, and it comes from a personal aspect, was the Gerson Therapy. Do you remember her?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And the reason that kind of, I found her fascinating. I actually have a friend who lives in Utah. She actually met Charlotte Gerson, which is Max Gerson's daughter. And the way Max Gerson died was a whole, maybe conspiracy thing. Not conspiracy. I think it actually did happen, but he was poisoned, and
controversial.
Yeah, very controversial. So this new executive director of Gerson Therapy, she was very articulate, I thought.
She was,
and made a good case for whole food, plant-based. But my former mother-in-law, she's died now, she's dead now, but when she was, I forget how old she was, and I didn't know her at the time, but she was diagnosed with cancer. She was given 6 months to live. She went on the Gerson program and lived another 25 years.
Wow.
And again, they do some different kind of things. I mean, if you read about Gerson, you can read about it online. They do some different type of things with coffee enemas and things like that. But one thing is, you take out the processed food. That's huge. So she was always, and then later on, when she was still living and stuff, and I met her, and she just loved the way I cooked because I cooked kind of weird and stuff. Yeah. And so I just thought that was fascinating, to hear that they're still going, they're still strong, but just to cut out that processed food. And
I think my takeaway on the panel that they put together was like the gal, the head of the Mothers organization.
Well, it was like, it wasn't Mothers Against GMOs, but something like that. Yeah, I can probably.
And then the gal, the pharmacy, Stephanie Norton of the pharmacy, that was so cute. With
FARM, yes.
Yeah, and she, both of those were allergic to something in the food. And
her children were too.
And her children were
yes,
too.
They had a lot of different,
Yeah, and so you look at that, and I think from my perspective, it occurred to me that these people were anecdotal, but it worked for them.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And like,
sometimes you can see the anecdotal, but then you're amazed to see all the science behind it afterwards, like an afterthought.
Well,
not an afterthought, but
no, The other thing that I look at is that, in fact, one of our podcasts we showed Dr. McDougall talking about it, is that every time it's tried, it works. Well, that's anecdotal, but is it?
I don't think so.
No, I mean, if it works every time, hello.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. To me, it's like a pyramid, and where I was on the pyramid is if you avoid this, this, and this, and sometimes even Dr. Greger talks about it. Even if it's not organic, if it's better to eat it than to eat processed food,
or
meat or dairy. So
one thing that Gerson, I can't exactly remember her name, but I'll just say the Gerson executive director. She had that poster of 20 cancer-fighting foods. Is it okay if I read that?
Yeah. Sure.
Is it okay? You'll see it when you watch the video, but let me just tell you, if you want to write these down, I'll talk slow, because I usually talk pretty slow, don't I? So,
no.
Yeah, okay. So garlic.
Yes.
Yes. And now, since we're social distancing, we don't care if you've got garlic breath, because...
That's true.
Right. Garlic, cabbage. Cabbage is huge. That's a really big one. The farmer's market has some beautiful cabbages. They're just gorgeous. Cabbage, broccoli, kale, asparagus, tomatoes, grapes. That's what I told you when I first came to Al's house.
I eat grapes every day.
Me too. He's like, he's all into grapes. That's what I'm into. He goes, actually, it's for the wine. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I thought it was for the grapes.
We used to make wine. It was good wine.
Ginger.
Yes.
Ginger
every day.
See, that is fantastic. And Costco has some organic ginger. That's what we should do when we go to Costco next time. I'll give you half of it.
Okay.
Yeah, because I don't think I can use that.
You buy fresh ginger?
Yeah, fresh ginger.
That's what I use.
Yeah, perfect. So that's what.
Okay, good.
Okay,
yeah,
that's what I'll get. Okay.
It keeps for a long time.
It does. Right, it does. I'm just thinking, all of those things. So I'll split that with you. Okay. Strawberries. I love strawberries. I made some delicious strawberry cupcakes the other day.
These are all foods we like. That's what's nice about it.
Exactly. And they had the best organic strawberries at the farmer's market. If I'm pushing the farmer's market, it's because I've been there.
Yes.
Blueberries,
Oh, yeah, mine too.
My boyfriend. Which one do you say? Not Hippocrates.
Oh,
Go ahead. Yes, I know you're excited.
Blueberries, yes.
Okay.
You gave everybody, I think we put it on the... or at least you gave Dottie a recipe for blueberry bread, blueberry something.
Blueberry muffins, probably.
Well, we made...
Was it the bread? Oh, yeah, you can make...
We made the bread instead.
Perfect.
It is so good.
Isn't it delicious?
It isn't sweet.
It's the blueberries
sweeten it up,
right?
But it's not like overwhelming. It's just delightful.
Wasn't it great?
I don't know if we didn't put it on the web, we'll put it on. It is so good.
We did, yes. I mean, I think you did, but
I think I did too.
I've made those like 3 or 4. This last time I substituted cherries. And because cherries were in season, so I was pitting them myself. Yeah. And then I made this strawberry thing with the it was good.
It's sort of it's a little, because of the berries. It's sweeter than bread, but it's not a cake.
No, not at all.
But it's so good.
Well, when I used to work at Marie Callender's a million years ago, they said, "Oh, do you have any cornbread? Do you have any cornbread?" And they call that cornbread. Hello, that's corn cake. It was more of a dessert, right? Have you ever had Marie Callender's cornbread? You can remember that's more like a cake. Yeah. So where did I leave off? Blueberries. Now, Anthony William says always eat wild blueberries. He says that talks about the healthy effects are much more prevalent in wild blueberries.
They probably haven't been GMO'd.
Exactly. Okay. Turmeric, which we talked about turmeric that one time, so that's another cancer-fighting food. Green tea, which I don't really like green tea. Maybe do you drink green tea?
I actually have been, can't remember the one for blood pressure, but I've been taking another one.
Oh, okay. Well, so Swiss chard. I just bought some Swiss chard at the farmer's market because after watching this, I'm like, I don't really use Swiss chard.
No, I haven't had that for a long time.
Yeah, the cute little, not kid, but at the farmer's market.
They're all kids.
I said, no, exactly what do you suggest I do with Swiss chard? He goes, chop it up and then fry it with some bacon. I'm like, okay, wrong person, but but you can use the stalk and the leaves and everything, which I think is important. So lentils. I made this great lentil mushroom thing. So chili pepper, which is perfect for Cinco de Mayo. Chili peppers at Chili Smith. Flax seeds, which I know you put in your smoothie all the time. And what is that other thing they list?
Oh my goodness, could it be avocado?
It could be, thank you. Oranges. I had bought the best oranges at the farmer's market. I've been slicing them and putting 2 of them in my smoothie.
I do too. Well, I make my green smoothie.
And you make your green smoothie.
Put two mandarins into. Well, just think I like the flavor.
Oh, I do too. That's great. And I put some turmeric powder in my smoothie, kind of, so that's nice. And then lemons. Lemons are huge, and licorice root. So those were the top 20.
Yeah, very good.
Okay, so I'm trying to think. Don't worry if you're not getting all of those in your diet every day.
No.
But keep thinking, oh yeah, this would be good, this would be good.
Well, those are things, a lot of them I need anyway.
Yeah, okay.
Do you remember the Ayurvedic woman?
Ayurvedic, yes, I love that.
Now listen, when diet is wrong, medicine is of not use. When diet is correct, medicine is of no need.
Is of no need.
That's an old saying that they have. I thought that was the proverb they have. I just love that.
And here's a quote that the Gerson woman talked about. And she shows this picture of pizza and broccoli, if you want to see it right here.
Yes.
This is what I like when Joel Fuhrman said this. Medicines cannot drug away the cellular defects that develop in response to improper nutrition. Wasn't that a good one?
No, yeah.
Yeah, that one was really good. And then food is the most powerful medicine available to heal chronic disease. Yeah. That's something that Anthony Williams says.
Everybody says it.
But not everybody does it, right, Alan?
You know, I've heard a lot of things that say that we are now, as a country,
No, I understand, not you and me.
As a population, now on food where the country was in the 40s and 50s on smoking.
Yeah. I love, Dr. Greger points out a lot.
Yeah,
I love that.
And I think that's absolutely it, because I grew up, both my parents, and I think you mentioned.
And both my parents, chain smokers, yes.
Yeah, no, well, I wouldn't say they were chain smokers, but my mother smoked a lot. My dad smoked big stogies. Big cigars.
The Three Stooges?
Yeah, like the Three.
Oh, okay.
And
Three Stogies? Okay.
Three Stogies. And I hated the smell. And here I am, a grade school kid, and they say, smoking is bad for you. So I come home, Mommy, Daddy, smoking is bad for you. Shut up, kid. No, not really. But they just ignored it. And my sister and I never smoked. Well, I shouldn't say never. She said she tried it in college and didn't like it. In college, I tried the cigar. I got so sick.
Just smelling it is well, I can remember when they had smoking sections on airplanes.
Yes.
I mean,
and restaurants. Oh, I hated that.
Oh, that was just right.
Oh, I hated that.
You talked about the GMO woman. Can I just mention her name?
Please.
And then, her name is, how cute a name is this? Zen Honeycutt. For moms across America. Does she look familiar to you?
Yes.
Yes. Right. Okay. So again, you'll see this if you go to the website. Obviously, you have to see this or watch. But I just wanted to mention her name. So okay, that's what I wanted to do.
Well, I like this because my takeaway on this video was when I first came into a position where I had to change something or die, I like the fact that the doctors that I was exposed to initially, Esselstyn and Greger and Campbell, they all came from different places geographically, educationally.
One the cow farmer, the other the dairy farmer, or the beef, or the exactly.
But they all come together, and basically they all agree with just minor details. And this reminded me of that. All of these people come together. They have
different backgrounds.
Different backgrounds, different interests, different reasons for coming there. And to me, that validates the efficacy, whatever the word I used.
I like that word.
I think I made it up.
I like it, yeah.
Of what's going on, and of course it agrees with everything that I have found to be true. So what I will say is, after this, you will eat, or if you're not eating organic now, you will after seeing this.
Well, and you can also follow along with Dirty Dozen like some of the things they say don't necessarily have to be organic. I've tried organic pineapple and not organic pineapple. I do not like the organic pineapple as well. I don't know why. Maybe because Costco sells the big ones that rip. But yeah, and I like the one doctor. I forget who she was. Someone was interviewing her, and they said, well, organic tends to be more expensive. And she says, I'll never drive a Lexus. I'd rather put the money in my food.
Yeah.
I love that.
I do too.
Okay, so did you do your takeaway, your tip? Or
I just did that.
Okay, because I did my takeaway.
But you're going to like just, not a takeaway, but a phrase that they said that I know you're going to like. It says, never let perfect be the enemy of good enough. And I've heard you tell me that, and yet when I see someone else say it, it makes sense.
Gee, that sounds familiar. Right. I can tell him the same thing about vitamins or this or that. Well, my doctor, and then my doctor, and then my... But now I don't think my doctor knows. So what I'm going to do is like, okay, I said that 3 weeks ago. Okay. Well, my takeaway kind of has to do with my grandson, which I've been very good. Haven't I restrained myself?
Yes.
Not telling you all the cute things. Did you want any videos of him to put on the... Just checking. One of these days he'll say yes. Okay, so one of the things that Zen Honeycutt pointed out, and if you want to look at this with me.
No, I don't.
Okay, this is the new childhood in America. 1 in 3 is overweight.
Yeah.
1 in 6 has learning disabilities.
Yeah.
1 in 9 has asthma. 1 in 10 has ADHD or AD, whatever you want to call that. 1 in 12, which I think it's probably more like 1 in 5, has food allergies. 1 in 20 has seizures. 1 in 45 males have autism. 1 in 68 females have autism. 54%, half of all children have children. Not just, I mean, they are people. That's not what I mean, but...
I know.
54%.
Not the total population.
Right. Of all children have a chronic illness or are overweight. See that? I mean, it gives me goosebumps and it breaks my heart.
Yeah.
And I don't see that statistic changing for the better unless we really change our dietary habits.
And I don't, it has to come from the bottom up, but I have children that won't change their dietary habits.
I am so thankful that
you did a good job.
Well, I didn't do a good job, but anyway.
So,
anything else we want to make a shout out? Can I make another shout out?
Please.
I just want to make a shout out to all of our followers and my newsletter people who have been so thoughtful and so kind to reach out and just send me little things.
Yeah,
Are you doing okay? Do you need this or that? Which I feel the exact opposite. If you need something, text me, call me, email me, and I'll see what I can do to help you.
I did get a comment on one of the videos, one of these podcasts. If you choose to, you can make a comment at the bottom of it because they're on YouTube. And somebody whose name I did not recognize, it just said, "Good job, keep up the good work, and thank you for the attaboy."
Hey.
Yeah.
Or attagirl.
I'm going to have to next time mention his name because that wasn't very nice of me to do that. But not to mention his name.
Maybe he wants to be anonymous. Maybe that was it.
He has a real name. All right.
All right. So we're excited about
Keep those cards and letters coming.
Keep those texts and emails coming.
All right. Good night, Gracie.
Good night, George. We love you guys.